Today we're tackling a common conundrum in the world of custom car building, the absence of factory-formed radiator hoses for our unique rides. But unlike cheap flexible hoses or dress-up options that either look cheesy or leak, I came up with a little trick that I think will both function really well and look good while doing it. So stay tuned as we try something new, or at least something I've not seen before, and see if this solution will keep your ride looking hot, but running cool. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of In the Shop TV. If you're new here and this is your first time checking out the channel, we've been building a custom 55 Chevy pickup truck for a little over a year now. We're just about at the point where our entire frame is in a roller. We're about ready to fire our engine. We're putting our engine accessories on and getting this thing all ready to start up for the first time, hopefully. So if you guys want to go back and check out any previous episodes, please do so. And if you'd like to subscribe, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm really trying to grow this channel. And if you want to see this truck get built from the ground up, there's a lot of good content that we've already filmed and a lot of great content yet to come. All right, so today we're getting into coolant lines. You know, when I first started getting into fucking around with classic cars and hot rod and all that good shit, I was just a kid and I didn't have a garage or a shop, and there wasn't a tremendous amount of product available. When it came to coolant lines, you had your factory molded radiator hoses from the parts store. And if it didn't, fit what you were building, if it wasn't a factory vehicle, if you built something custom, there wasn't really any options for you. You had to just get one of those, cheesy flex hoses and put some worm drive clamps on it and call it a day. When I started doing this, they had some dress up options, which was kind of like that braided sleeving with the fake AN caps that slipped over the ends of your hose clamps to kind of hide the ugliness of those. And I guess it was kind of cool because there wasn't really much other dress up options for you at that time. Nowadays, there's a lot of options that are really cool. Some of them are a little bit more form of a function. You guys have all seen those aluminum or steel radiator hoses that kind of flex, and then they have like a clamp that goes over the outside of the hose to kind of hide the end of it. And they look kind of neat. I've heard that a lot of people have problems with them leaking. I've not tried it, so I can't verify that, but there's been enough cases of people complaining about them leaking that I'm a little bit leery to try them myself. Again, there's no custom molded hoses for this vehicle. It's a 55 Chevy truck with a 2007 Chevy LS in it, so nothing exists for it. So you got to kind of make your own stuff. A really cool option out there is they're now making AN fittings that you can kind of attach to your radiator, and then it will attach to your water pump, and it looks like a big, thick, regular AN fuel hose or something like that. Really cool option, kind of pricey. So if you're like me and you're kind of thinking budget minded, I really want something that will look good, but be solid and function well. So it led me to thinking, what could I do? This is my thought process, and I'll show you what I came up with. Guys, before we get started, it's giveaway time again. We are giving away our Cut 50 plasma cutter by the good people at Art Captain Welders. We've got a demo video on this a couple videos back, so go ahead and check that out to see how this machine works. It's great. We have no problems with it. I love using this machine, and you're gonna love it too. There's no money to enter. All you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, and then leave a comment saying that you are subscribed so that I can come back and reference these comments and use a random comment generator to pick the winner. Just for fun, we're gonna go ahead and announce the winner on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So you guys got plenty of time to enter to win. So here we are at the front of the engine, and my initial thought was, let's see if there is any factory molded options that will kind of fit just by accident or by chance from our inlet and outlet on both the radiator and the water pump. So I got myself just a piece of electrical wire that's solid core, and I placed it where our hose would be, and I kind of molded it up into the shape I would want. I did that for the bottom as well. Then I headed over to my local Napa auto parts store, where in the back they have literally over 1,000 hoses that are preformed and molded for various different vehicles, just hanging there for you to go and pick through, all different sizes and shapes. You name it. So I kind of asked politely if they let me go back there and rummage with my silly little wire templates, and they said, sure, go for it. So lo and behold, the top hose that I came up with fits almost perfectly. The bottom one was a hair long, but with a tiny bit of trimming, it worked out really well. Now I went and saved both of those stickers and stuck them to the inside of one of my tool cabinets here so that you guys can see, and so that I can have a reference point if I ever need to replace them. That's the top hose, that's the bottom hose, and those are numbers from Napa. Now we've got the function part down pat because this is a tried and true method. These are in every one of your daily driver vehicles and they just work. So we've got ourselves a really good place to start and a good solid foundation to work with. The form feature, not so much. They're kind of just ugly plain hoses. And I kind of want something a little bit nicer than that for this custom build. So I drew inspiration from, like I mentioned before, where you have that kind of stainless steel sleeving and the fake AN caps that go over the end. I was inspired by that, but I didn't want it to be quite as cheesy. So I came up with my own kind of idea that's a spin-off of that. For those of you guys who've been following along, I'm a big fan of using this stuff, which is called Tech Flex. I use it a lot for all my wiring. It's expandable sleeving. You just kind of push onto it, thread your wires or whatever it is you're looming through there, and then snake it down, and it really forms a really nice protective and good looking covering for whatever it is that you're trying to cover. So I thought, you know what, I can snake that right over these radiator hoses and it will actually look nice. But then we've got the issue of the ends being frayed and kind of looking crappy like that. So I figured, get some big shrink tubing and just kind of put that over the end of it. It'll actually serve two purposes. It'll look good, you know, kind of hide that frayed nature of the end of this Tech Flex. And it'll apply a little bit more pressure onto the end of the hose too, where it matters most. As far as attaching it to our water pump and our radiator, I don't want to disguise anything. I want to stay true to what we're actually doing. So I got some standard worm drive hose clamps, but I got them in black, so everything will kind of match and look good and stay with the theme of what we're doing. You can get these in any color, not just the standard stainless that they come with the store. You can get them in black, blue, red, whatever you want. Sky's the limit. I think with the black expandable sleeving, the shrink tubing over it, and the black worm drive clamps, I think it'll make kind of a really cool look to these radiator hoses that's unique. I've not seen it done before. I don't know if it's gonna work. I think it should. It sounds like it's gonna work. I guess we're gonna find out together. I think that's one of the coolest parts about hot rodding, guys, is trying stuff that you've not tried before. At least that's the most fun part of this for me anyway. All right, enough BS, let's get to it. All right, for those of you that are familiar with the LS engine, you know what we're looking at here. This is the steam crossover. It goes from head to head, and basically your engine tilts back, and this is in the front corners, and any type of air that's trapped in there, whatever, can escape through these two ports in the heads, and then it goes out into a bung that's in the radiator. A lot of guys use aftermarket ones with AN fittings. They look really cool, but I think that they have a little bit more potential for leakage because there's more connections to them, whereas this is one solid piece. It came with the vehicle, and I like to stick with what works and what's original whenever I can. So what we did was we cleaned this up, hit it with a Scotch-Brite, wiped it down with some acetone, and then gave it a quick coat of engine enamel just to freshen it up. So whenever you replace these, you get your new gasket set, and it comes with both style gaskets. These ones that look like the top of a Coke can are the old style gaskets. And for our Gen 4 with just this corner crossover, we use just the O-rings here. And we'll slip them over. Set them down, just like that. So if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would have done this quite some time ago when I didn't have all the stuff in the way. But I kind of wanted to film the whole coolant section of this video all in one shot. All right, there we go. So you could probably get it around back here with a short ratchet, but I'm opting to use a universal on a nice long extension just to make life easy. I might actually end up changing this to a black aluminum barb down the road, but for right now, just to get things hooked up, it'll do just fine. So we went ahead and wrapped up our steam port line in the same kind of way. Terminated that at our radiator. So I still got to do some shopping for like a coolant reservoir or overflow jug for the radiator. What I was hoping to do with this video and with these hoses is maybe just open up another option out of the narrow few that exist for people that may be in a similar situation. You know, with just a little bit of ingenuity and creativity, I think we could find some ordinary parts at your average auto parts store and make something that looks cool, unique, and different. Remember, it's about the balance of finding function and form and style when you're building custom cars or hot rods or something that you're spending a lot of time and money on. And hopefully this idea that I just tried out will give you guys one more option to try out. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I need all the help I can get. And follow along for more tips, tricks, and hacks to take your hot rod build to the next level. Guys, thanks for watching and taking this journey with me. And as always, I'll catch you next time in the shop.